Tiffany. How are you?
Hi, girl. How are you doing?
I'm so good. Thank you for joining me.
Of course. Thanks for having me. This is so exciting.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I hope it turns out being fun, but we'll see. So, for anybody watching, this is Tiffany Revelle. She is Mrs. Montgomery County PA 2020 and will be competing in the Mrs. Pennsylvania America pageant at the end of June. That I am also in. So I'm really happy to get to know Tiffany and actually see you because it's been a while since we've really got to see each other, or any other human beings for that matter. So thank you for being here. Okay, so you are the very first guest on my new show called All of Our Appearances Have Been Canceled. So thank you. I figured I can tell you about it and tell anyone watching about it at the same time. Since we're all new to this, we should just know what we're talking about.
Sounds
So,
good.
we are in a global pandemic, which is a sentence I never in my life thought I would say. But here we are. And so, I mean, the world is really scary right now. There's a lot going on. We're all really anxious. And so, not a huge issue in scheme of things, but for pageant women, understand why this is an issue. Everything has been canceled, including all of our appearances, right? And we're kind of in super prime time pageant time right now. So we would all be out there, volunteering, making appearances, talking about our platforms, going to real gyms that aren't our living room floor. My gym right now is my bedroom. So it's kind of a weird time. So anyway, I wanted to create this show to give queens an opportunity to really talk about their platform, showcase their personalities, and it will be a little bit different than kind of a standard pageanty interview because I wanted to do something kind of fun and different, to help us through the stressful time.
I love it.
Does that sound okay with you?
That sounds great.
Okay, just for some historical benchmarking here, in the state of Pennsylvania, where we are in day 18 at the official stay home order. Day
That's
22,
it.
I know, right? Well, wait till you hear one. Day 22 of non-essential businesses being closed. So I feel like a lot of us probably stayed in starting then. Day 25 of schools being closed. So I think mothers across the state can appreciate how long that is.
Yeah. I'm like, that's it.
We're, one day at a time. Okay, so here's what's going to happen with the show, Tiffany. So, in a moment, I'll let you actually really introduce yourself and talk about your platform, which is really important and a huge reason why we're here. But in terms of the show flow, I'm going to ask you about 10 questions and maybe 5 different categories. There may be a couple surprises in there. The categories will be pageanty things, but don't worry, they're not like competition style questions, nothing like an on-stage question or what you'd get asked in an official interview. A category called Hey You, which are just questions all about you, your personal preferences, things like that. The third category is called Brian Would Like to Know. Brian's my husband. And since we're in a Mrs. pageant, I figured it would, we can't be Mrs. without a Mister. So he gets a question in here.
I love it.
Um, the fourth category is called Just Silliness. It's just a question that has nothing to do with anything. And then we'll finish with just a final quick fire round, and I'll tell you the theme of that when we get there.
Cool. I'm
Are you
excited.
ready?
I'm so ready.
Okay. So Tiffany, can you just now formally introduce yourself and please do share with us about your amazing platform?
So, my name is Tiffany Revelle. I am the current Mrs. Montgomery County, Pennsylvania for America. I live in Montgomery County, of course. I live in Horsham with my family, with my husband. We've been married almost 13 years, and our 2 kids. Our son is 6, and our daughter is 4. And then we have an entire zoo of animals. So that's a little background as far as like our family. But my platform that I advocate strongly for, I call it Hope for Heroes, to combat PTSD as well as soldier suicide. These are really important to me. This all started actually 3 years ago when I joined the Mrs. Pennsylvania America pageant for the first time. My brother is a United States Army veteran. So So sorry, that's my children, mom life. But my brother is a U.S. Army veteran, and he actually came upon like really hard times. He struggled with depression, he struggled with anxiety, he struggled with PTSD, and a lot of that led him to drug addiction. He found himself addicted and homeless, and actually lived at the Coatesville VA Medical Center for about a year. So after he kind of got his life back together, we were talking about just his story and how he didn't know what benefits were available to him. He felt isolated and alone, like nobody understood. And he actually met so many other veterans just like that. So that really prompted me to want to become an advocate for veterans. I have no military experience. I am a civilian, come from a really long line of veterans, my father, my uncles, my grandparents. So I really wanted to do something to honor my brother because he's also my best friend. And through that, I really have learned so much about the different needs of our veterans and struggles that they have, specifically fighting PTSD and soldier suicide. So it's been something that I love doing. I've connected with so many amazing individuals and organizations, and it's something I'm going to be involved with for the rest of my life, not just for pageantry, but forever.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like I have chills, so that's really great. So that, amazing platform. You're an amazing gal, and I'm really happy that you're here as the first person because for anyone out there who doesn't know you, not only are you beautiful and you have a big heart and you're really smart, you're also a lot of fun. So,
So
so
are
here
you.
we are. All right, so let us get started. And so the first category is pageanty things. So let's imagine it's June 27th, 2020. You've just won Mrs. Pennsylvania America. You got your crown, you got your sash, you're ready to go. Would you rather have to wear your crown and sash everywhere for the first 2 weeks, 24 hours a day, or not wear them at all for the first 2 weeks?
I would totally wear them everywhere for the first 2 weeks and beyond.
I love that. I love that. That question came about because um, I've heard from queens before, and actually, I think just recently, is her name Natalie? Is it Natalie Winslow, our current Mrs. America?
Yes.
She put up some kind of posts about when she first got crowned and she first went out with her crown and sash. She was kind of embarrassed. And I've heard that from other queens before. So I thought that was kind of a really interesting thing. Like, why would we work so hard to get something and then feel embarrassed going out there with it? I'm going to be honest, I feel like I would feel self conscious my first time out. Like, the first time I ever got that one, I wore it out and I was like, it's just,
Because
but
everyone's staring and
yeah,
looking.
yeah.
I
But
get it.
I love wear that all day, every day for 2 weeks. Good job. All right.
Heck yes.
Here's the second question. So, as we know, there's no talent portion in the Mrs. America organization right now, but let's imagine that they did have one, but it has to be an unconventional talent. So, no singing, no, violin. What would your unconventional talent be?
Oh boy. Probably dig into my hobby bag and crochet a hat for everybody super fast.
Yeah.
I taught myself to crochet when I was pregnant with my son. So I learned how to do it like super, super fast. So I would probably try to blow their minds
Yeah.
with that.
That's a great one. That's awesome. All right. So the third one, I guess, is kind of a question, but kind of not. So um, this category is called my favorite picture of you.
Oh gosh.
So no, I will tell you, this came from um, your pageantry Instagram account, which is public, so don't
Oh.
worry.
I'm
And
like,
so
are you stalking me?
yes. I just wanted to take this moment to really honor you and thank you for being here on my show. And you have so many beautiful pictures, but the one that I particularly loved is this one.
I
I don't know if
love that
there's too
one.
much glare on it, but like the outfit is killing it. I love the nude lip. You look so strong and confident and beautiful. So
Oh,
maybe I
thank
just
you.
wanted to have everyone see how adorable you are. But
That
other
is one
than
of my
that,
favorites.
in terms of the question, can you tell us a bit about what this is and what was going on?
So that photo was actually taken right after our official pageant interview with the panel of judges. And we had just finished rehearsals on stage. So that was my complete interview look right there.
Love it.
I went with a bold jumpsuit, which is kind of unconventional because a lot of people think of wearing like a nice skirt suit or just a really nice dress. So I went with a really fun and exciting jumpsuit to show my personality.
Yeah.
And we had our professional photographer there to capture all the moments. And that was my professional interview look. So
I love it. I love
I
it.
really loved that photo and I just loved how everything turned out.
Yeah, good. Do you happen to remember anything about like how you were feeling at that time? So you knew you did your interview, you were going to go on stage later that day. What were you feeling? What were you thinking?
The interview is always the most scariest part of competition, but this was after, and I felt so good about interview because I really felt like I was able to showcase who I was as a person and what my platform was about. I was really on cloud nine after the interview. It was such an exciting time to have the interview and then be done the
Yeah.
interview. We had just finished the rehearsals on stage for as far as our walking patterns and how everything would go. And I was just really excited to go sit down and take my shoes off, number one, get
Yeah.
some lunch,
Yeah.
and just excited to like sit down and just hang out with the girls because that was really the first time a lot of the contestants met each other.
Mhm.
And the whole class was just so wonderful. So just like hanging out backstage, laughing, making everybody feel like comfortable. I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's so great. Well, I'm super excited to have that day with all of you this year. So, for some background, I guess for you, for anyone watching, so my first pageant ever was last year. I competed in Colorado. And so this is going to be my first year competing in Pennsylvania and getting to know all of you. But I will say for anyone listening who's thinking about competing, hasn't signed up yet, but especially if you're in Pennsylvania, you should definitely do it because these group of women who I've gotten to know over the past couple of months have been incredible. So,
Absolutely.
yes. Okay.
I'm
So
gonna
now
join.
we're going to the category called Hey You. And these are just general things about you. All right. Have you ever had an outfit in the past that you absolutely loved at the time, but now looking back, you realize it was all wrong?
Oh, yes.
For me, that's like the years from 2000 to like 2010, like that whole, all of that.
It's pretty much that entire decade, but I don't know if anyone out there is old enough to remember when Christina Aguilera first came out. She had this music video on MTV when they played music videos. She was
Mhm.
wearing these amazing bright orange, like parachute pants. And I got myself,
Yeah, I know exactly which ones.
I got those for Christmas. It was either my junior or senior year, and I thought I was amazing in them.
Yeah.
I see the pictures now, and I'm just like, oh, Tiffany, why? What happens?
What did you wear on top?
I wore just a plain white t-shirt that was like short sleeves, like form fitting because that's what you did. I
Yeah.
had my Adidas shell top sneakers because those were the thing.
Yeah.
And I thought I looked amazing. I did not.
I don't know. Like it sounds like a hot look. I don't. I think it
It
sounds
was
good.
it was not something I could pull off. It was like a clash with my hair and then the bright orange pants. And I was so like tiny and petite that like they didn't fit right. It was yeah, not good.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
loved
I
it then.
like that. I think it sounds cool. I wish we had pictures of it, but we'll save that for another time. The Tiffany follow-up interview.
Yes.
All right. This one's about irrational fears. So I'm a woman in my mid 30s, but I have these irrational fears that I've carried through my childhood, I assume. So I still fear that I'm going to be swallowed by a whale, and I fear that I'm going to be hit by a train.
Okay.
Full honest truth, last summer I saw a train with a whale painted on it,
Oh
and
no.
I was like, this is how I die. This is it. I couldn't believe
Did
it
you
was
have to
kingdom.
like
Anyway,
pull over to the side of the road and
we were
collect
walking.
yourself?
We were literally walking by this train, and my husband pointed at it because he knows very much what my irrational fears are. And he was like, "Oh, it's going to get you." Um, so lucky that I lived through that, and here I am today. But the question is, do you have any weird, irrational fears?
I am deathly terrified of ET.
Yeah, yeah. So just like any extraterrestrial or that particular one?
That particular one.
Yeah.
So when I was a little girl, my brother had a birthday party, and apparently I was bothering my brother. I can't imagine that being the case. And he told me that ET was going to come and eat me in my sleep. And I was very little. And that has stuck with me to this day. If I see like commercials or a meme or anything, I like throw my phone. I get so freaked out.
Okay.
I can't watch it, nothing to this day. Like it's actually giving me goosebumps to talk
Oh,
about
I'm
it.
sorry. Well, I don't want to cause anybody pain here, so let's go to the next one. Oh, okay. So which reality show or reality competition show would you be on?
Oh my goodness. That's a good one. Probably Biggest Loser. Because I know it's a little weird, but the coaches are so inspiring to the contestants with like it's not just about your physical appearance, but it's about your inner beauty and your confidence and your self-esteem and what you're truly capable of. So like if I could just kind of grab those coaches and bring them along with me for the ride.
Yeah.
And they have really fun challenges and really cool workouts, and I think all the contestants get like a free gym membership.
Yeah.
That would be a fun reality show.
Okay. I like it. I like it. All right, now we're going to go to the category Brian would like to know. So this is a question that could only be written by my husband. So this is a would you rather, but this applies for the rest of your life.
Okay.
So for the rest of your life, before starting every sentence, would you rather laugh, clap, or yawn? And that
I'd probably laugh.
before every sentence you say.
Laugh.
Laugh. That makes sense. But it's like if you're giving, I don't know, a critique of somebody at work or, bad news of some, or
That
like,
could come off wrong. Yeah.
right. Or if you're trying to give your child, like, this is a teaching moment.
Right.
But also, too, you can't, like,
I can't be like, that was really bad.
yeah, or yawn when you're like, Mom, are you okay?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Okay.
Thanks, Brian.
Okay. Well, all right. We only have a couple of questions left. This is going by really fast. It's a lot of
This
fun.
is really fun.
Good. I'm glad. Oh, God. Okay. So this is from the category called Just Silliness. And this really has nothing to do with anything. It's just to see what you think. Think hard about this one. What is the worst thing to put in a piñata?
Play-Doh.
Yeah. Like loose Play-Doh, like not in the containers, but like
Loose Play-Doh. That gets in carpets and stays there forever and gets stuck in your shoes. And moms all across the world hate Play-Doh.
Yeah, that's a really good one. That's a really good one. Okay, so our last category is a quick fire challenge. And so technically, this is question 9 through 13, but they're really fast. And the theme of this quick fire round is questions that are actually song lyrics. So these are not questions from me. These are questions that are in songs that we all know. Okay. Tiffany, who let the dogs out?
My cat.
Yes. Yeah, you did. Do you like pina coladas?
Absolutely.
And getting caught in the rain?
Of course.
Okay, and here's the last one. What are you gonna do with all that junk inside that trunk?
Donate it.
Donate it. I love it. Yes. An excellent. I never would even thought to say that, but that's a great. That's great. That's
I was trying to like finish the lyric, like play
Yeah.
that, but I'm like, I don't remember what the lyrics are.
I think it's technically like I'm a get you drunk. So
Oh yeah. Or
that,
and then I
that
could have
would
like
great
barked.
answer. I love it. I love it. All right. Well, you've answered all of my questions. So thank you so much for joining me. This has been awesome. Honestly, it's really been the highlight of my day. So
Mine too. I've been looking forward to this ever since you mentioned it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I get to be her first guest. And yeah, this has been a highlight.
good. I'm glad you had fun. Well, thank you again. Is there any last thing you want to say to the people before we go?
If anyone wants to follow me on Instagram, you can go to my personal account, which is ginger.girl.tiffany. You can also follow my pageant journey on Instagram. It is Mrs. Montgomery PA 2020. So you can find me on there. You can find me on Facebook. Just use my regular name, no surprise. And I just want to say, I love you so much. I had the honor of meeting you before, and you are just the sweetest, and I love you so much. I can't wait to see you again.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, thank you again. Um, I will stop our recording here and then we can say goodbye. Private. All right. Hold on.